Hey guys, welcome back to Fallout New Vegas. In the last episode, we took care of dead money at the Sierra Madre. And it was tough, I ain't gonna lie to you. It was different. Different vibe, different aesthetic. We're on to do Old World Blues, which takes place at Big Mountain. This one is a science fiction kind of, laboratory one. A little more sci-fi in there. And let's get started. Here we go. Mojave Drive-In. Just gotta change it into night. Joshua Graham lives. The Burned Man walks. Well, let's do it. Oh, alright. It's midnight now. Oh, it's on now. The projector. Activate crash satellite. What? Oh, we go. The crashed satellite seems to be the source of the strange transmission you received. Old World Blues is recommended for experienced couriers, level 15 and up. That while you were unable to return to the Mojave until you solve the mystery of the Big Empty, you will be able to take anything you carry with you, and you will be able to return the Big Empty anytime after completing Old World Blues. If you're up to the challenge and you have all you want to carry with you, examine the satellite a little closer. The atomic wonders of science await. Take a closer look at the satellite.
In the years before the Great War, Big Mountain had been the home to the brightest minds of the 21st century. Scientists of vision were drawn to the facility to tackle the greatest technological challenges of the era. They sought to create a new world, fueled by technology for the benefit of all mankind. Sonic emitters, space-age alloys, DNA hybridization, force field particle research, autodoc advances in cranial, cardiac, and trauma surgery. The hopes and dreams of a century became realities in the electronic forges of Big Mountain. The nucleus of this research was the Dome. A huge stone facility that held the labs of every science known to man. It was a think tank where no problem could not be solved, where no question could not be answered. The Great War brought a new energy to Big Mountain and its scientists. Although sheltered from the front lines, the scientists waged their own war, fighting their battles at the atomic level. Equations and calculations marched endlessly across chalkboards and computer terminals toward one solution: winning the war. For years, the minds and computers of Big Mountain were a blaze of trajectories, weapon schematics, and nuclear theories. The problems began to outpace the solutions, first geometrically, then exponentially. As the war escalated, So did the questions. On the night of October 23rd, 2077, the scientists received an answer that put all their questions to rest. In the aftermath, Big Mountain's silent experiments went to sleep, their creators slowly dying in the new world that had been left behind. And the great stone in the middle of the Big Empty lay untouched, filled with countless technological wonders. Wonders that, in the end, had been answers to the wrong question.
The Big Empty. You feel strangely heavier. A quick inspection of your body reveals faint surgical scars around your head, chest, and back. Welcome to the Big Empty. Wow. This is nuts. We in it. I guess that's a whole nother radio. Whoa. Cool. Science. Door to the sink. Big mountain, huh? So I saw my stuff. So. Wow, I forgot how much ammo I have from that DLC. Oh my gosh. Mad Scientist Scrubs. There's a key though. Oh. That's cool. I like the layout already. Okay, where can I go? Big MT and Think Tank. Think Tank and oh, requires a key. I gotta go this way. A strange feeling of pessimism comes over you, and you find you cannot draw your weapon out for some reason.
I thought I heard the pacification field kick in. All right, shh. Nobody move.
Dr. Klein.
Be warned, intruder. You are in the presence of the mighty think tank of Big Mountain. The collective geniuses of... We... By Oppenheimer, which one of you self-professed geniuses has been adjusting my volume knob? Who was it? Was it you, 8? Oh, Dr. O, was it? Likely story. O couldn't spark 2 neurons if they were in a lattice of biomed gel.
What? Me? Breaking news, Klein. It wasn't me, all right? I'm the robotical engineer. 8 is sound waves. That's his specialty. You always do this. You always demean me in front of guests. And it's not O, all right? It's...
Enough! Either of you do it again, it'll be the last time. Now... Great. Now I forgot what I was saying. What was I talking about?
How are you all speaking through that one voice box?
Did it just say something? Anyone catch that? Boros, you work with animals. Translate.
It's a lobotomite. Here, in the dome.
Oh, as if this situation couldn't get any worse. Now we've got lobotomites. Dala, get the spray before it excretes all over everything.
What are you talking about?
Dr. Klein, if my hypothesis is correct, this lobotomite is the repository of the brain we sent the signal to, the skinvelope once containing it. If so, it's proof that there may indeed be something beyond the crater. Just look at it. The way it blinks. It's like a big, hairless teddy bear.
I know what it is, Dala. I want to know why it's down here. With its limbs all over everything. And are those penises I see wriggling on its feet? Disgusting.
I believe those are toes, Dr. Klein. Little teddy bear toes. Penises are much larger than those tiny extremities. Not that I would know.
I don't recall the human penis ever being that large.
It depends on one's own frame of reference, Dr. O. Look at its little nose with its 2 orifices for ingesting oxygen.
Noses? Why, the great static. These lobotomites confound me with their sheer number of useless extremities.
Ooh, high science might actually benefit this DLC. I hold up 1 finger, point at self, point at them, hold up 5 fingers.
Now it's holding up an array of fully erect hand penises. If it tries to insert them, activate vivisectors.
Dr. Klein, wait. I don't believe those gestures were random. Random at all. It's been following our conversation. The lobotomite understands us.
I agree with Boros's histrionic findings. This little lobotomite is unusually attentive for something whose brain has been extracted.
Nonsense. Lobotomites can't comprehend us.
Ace, have you been in the mentats again? If we slow down our oroprocessoreceptors to understand this excretion, we'll all be rendered ignorant.
All of you, power down, shut up, and let me prove once and for all how wrong you all are. As usual. Lobotomite, do you understand me? Can you speak?
Yes, I'm guessing that crashed satellite was yours.
Those were words, weren't they? In the form of questions. It's asking me questions. Is this some kind of trick?
Our efforts have turned against us. In playing God, we created a monster.
Perhaps as we were ruthlessly lobotomizing it with our cutters, we
I'm
filled
guessing
this
this is like the
skinvelope
past
with
scientists
awareness.
that worked here.
A teddy bear with new stuffing.
Wait. If what you're theorizing is this lobotomite understands us, can reason with us.
Then this may be just the answer we've been looking for. At last, a chance to...
Dr. Klein, a transmission from the Forbidden Zone, coming right at us.
It can only be...
If it isn't my old colleagues, the mighty think tank of Big Mountain. Big fools, all of you. It is I, Dr. Mobius,
see him.
transmitting from my dome-shaped dome in the Forbidden Zone. A zone that is, yes, forbidden to you. Even now, my deadly robo-scorpions swarm across Big Mountain with their pincers and pointy laser tails. Soon, all science will be mine. Even the technology sealed in the Big Mountain research centers cannot save you. So cower in your think tank. Wait
Movies.
for the end. That's all. Goodbye.
Mobius. Always the same broadcast. He's clearly mad, driven insane by his flawed and imprecise kindergarten-level research methodology.
What are we going to do? There's no way we can breach the Forbidden Zone. There's those robot scorpions everywhere.
The Forbidden Zone, where no brain has ever entered, nor ever returned.
Except Dr. Mobius and the technologies that could save us. They are out of our reach.
And Dr. Mobius mocks us. Did you see his cracked monitor? He's clearly let himself go.
What? Ask the lobotomite for help? Aid, I think you need the fluid levels in your logic assist pumps checked.
If this lobotomite responded, Dr. Klein, then it is clearly intelligent, perhaps even displays
Weird.
heretofore unknown levels of helpfulness.
But what of its brain? We scooped that out. We don't even know where we left it. And for putting it back in, none of us have the knowledge.
Yes, but it's still aware and responsive. Look at it. It's regarding us even now, with its big teddy bear eyes. If we ask it politely, and leave the part about the unnecessary, ruthless lobotomizing out, it might be favorably disposed to us.
You remove my brain?
We removed your brain, yes. So soft, barely wrinkled, yet so flush with knowledge and experience. Brain extraction technology has been standard practice at Big Mountain for an immeasurable amount of time.
Once the brain was out, then came the coils. The Tesla coils. The coils of Nikola Tesla.
I'm guessing Big Mountain made the robo-brains. I'm going to guess. Brainless perk. Your brain has been replaced with advanced technologies. Your head can no longer be crippled and is resistant to chem addiction. 25% resistant. And shock from bodily damage.
Yeah, Aid, no need to brag. Wherever your brain is, it's transmitting thoughts to you through the
Tesla coils in its head.
This is fortunate in many respects. If your brain was anywhere in the dome, why, you could access your aggression centers.
Circumventing the pacification field. This is a no-no. We have never been in a fight. We do not want that.
Reminds me of my days in American High. And Richie Marcus.
That doesn't explain the laser sensors on my chest and on my spine.
Darla, was it necessary this time?
I assume full responsibility. I take my duties in the prodding and excision of living, breathing tissue quite seriously. Although in truth, the autodoc had done most of the work already. Quite industrious, almost cut into all my investigations. Once it had removed the brain and I misplaced it, other organs began to cry for direction, using your nerves as telegraph wires. Rather than let them send their signals, I removed them as well. Shh, little organs. Go to sleep in your tanks. Dala loves you.
First was the heart.
Heartless perk. The scars in your chest seem to confirm what the think tank is saying. You cannot be poisoned, and the filters into your artificial blood pump will regulate bleeding and healing, allowing all healing items to function at a higher level. Robots are now confused by you, and 50% less likely to score a critical hit.
Wait, I mean, second was the heart. Brain was first. Third was the spine.
Spineless perk. In quotations. Due to complications with the procedure, your spine has been replaced as well. Your torso can no longer be crippled, and your strength and damage threshold has been increased.
spine. Totally overrated, that arrangement of vertebrae. Look at me, with my lumbar and thoracic curvature. Never had a use for any of that. Spineless is what I prefer.
So you took out my brain, heart, and spine.
That auto-dock junk heap was one of Mobius's creations, like the rest of the talking scrap metal in the attic.
After that, the brain lost itself. Not in the metaphysical sense. Might have gotten flushed into one of the pipes. Actually, that's pretty likely.
If so, it was flushed all the way to Mobius. Flush. That is the sound of flushing.
By the Fisher of Rolando, enough of this biological surgery talk. Lobotomite, listen to my voice. It denominates me to ask, but we need your help. In most probable of probabilities, our enemy, Mobius, has your brain. This is not good. He will most likely come after our brains next. We want you to stop him, somehow, with science.
You said something about needing technologies to stop Mobius?
Yes. It is our only chance, a desperate plan that came to us after Mobius's first broadcast. Maybe, just maybe, if we reclaim these buried technologies, we can put an end to Mobius and the horrors spawning from the Forbidden Zone.
What exactly is the plan? You're losing me in the generalities. I need specifics.
The plan is very complicated. We are still calculating how it would work if it succeeded. That is our part of the plan.
Why me? Can't you do it?
No.
No. Why not?
You are equipped to retrieve the technologies with your primitive form. We are not.
It's kind of embarrassing. You have hands, and a heartbeat, sort of, and eyes, mostly the hands. There's door handles and lockers and...
Enough! We need your help. Will you help us?
I'm listening. Let's hear it.
Excellent. This is turning out much better than the activate the retreat protocols and cower in my room idea I had earlier.
Agreed. Oh, and I've used my robotical knowledge to, transmit the radio map waves to... Settle down, 8. I would have gotten it in a second, all right? 8's transmitted the last known coordinates of the research centers. They, well, move sometimes. Or get buried. Or blow up.
8 is correct. All we need are the schematics. This does not mean we do not want the cold hard technology, however. So do not give in to your biological tired laziness and decide you would sweat too much carrying them. You have a new spine. Use it. And even if you die in the act of reclamation, simply reaching them will auto-transmitify the schematics to us. That is still good. For us.
This whole place sounds dangerous. These devices sound dangerous.
Nonsense. This place is no more dangerous than a nuclear detonation site. Our technology is no more lethal than an overcharged Tesla cannon. The technologies are the X2 transmitter antenna array, used to focus coherent thought at excessively high frequencies.
The psychoanalytic, cardiac-dampening, sneaky stealth suit. A suit like nothing this world has ever heard, seen, or could ever see.
And 8's sonic soundwave emitter projectile gun, able to broadcast sound at lethal frequencies. It also gives a great biogel massage.
There. We have informed you of all we need. We estimate if you are focused, your time investment will be minimal, by our standards. If you work quickly, you will be the recipient of a gesture of gratitude from us. We do not bestow these old-world gestures lightly.
The faster I get through this, the better.
Our intentions exactly. The important thing is you rush quickly through this task so as not to waste our time. Do not get curious, or you will end up like the cat of Schrödinger.
We feared you would be tempted to explore Big Mountain Crater and examine the many amazing non-mandatory research labs that lie off your designated path. The many such optional explorations are discouraged. Work hurriedly as if you have blinders on, and leave curiosities and items of interest alone.
So many sciences and developments. Pass them by. Let impatience and the desire to simply finish, to end it all quickly and carelessly guide you.
Right you are, 8. In our test results, we'll make a note about how quickly you ran our maze. Nobel challenge.
Well,
After all, there will be plenty of time afterward to partake of the experiments once our bidding is done.
I guess I better get walking then.
Ah, that is correct. You must walk upon your many penised feet. Much slower than our advanced hovering robotical frames.
The little teddy bear could always run right into the pylon perimeter on its thick, turgid feet, returning it to us quickly and directly.
There's a perimeter?
The radar fence that surrounds the Big Mountain Crater will protect you from straying beyond the facility.
The mighty radar fence protects us all. Get too close to the blinking posts, and the proximity warning shall be your warning. You are too close.
If you get near it, your vision will blur as the electrodes in your head shut off one by one. Click, click, click.
Possible memory loss will occur, along with long-term nerve degradation. It is tied to not having a brain attached to your nervous system, but the nerve degradation is nothing to worry about. Such degradation would take many lifespans to become evident, and all biology dies. Such tiny inconveniences are less than the greater convenience and conveyance. You see, if rendered unconscious by the pylons, you will be returned to the sink, seemingly instantaneously, by your deadened perceptions.
So I can't leave.
Oh, Dr. Klein? Dr. Klein? If I may intersect for a moment.
What is it? The lobotomite is asking me things, and I'm trying to ignore them. My processors can't ignore you both at the same time.
Well, you know how we asked it to fetch the sonic emitter thing? Turns out we already have it. What are the odds?
What is this, a high school science fair? Get your act together. You're making us look like a collection of round earthers.
You're always yelling. My receptors can't take it anymore. And neither can my feelings.
I am yelling because you contaminated specimens can't keep your probes off the volume knob on my voice module.
If you have the gun already, I don't understand what you need.
It is truly the end of all intelligence when the lobotomite speaks more wisdom than you geniuses. So, if we have the sound wave, sonic projecto thing gun, then what in Heisenberg's name do we need from X8? Anyone?
I believe we need a new frequency embedded into the gun. It was designed to broadcast many sounds once charged. We just don't know the frequency.
And it is lost in X8, just as X8 is forever lost to us. The sadness of my high school days, the sadness of my youth lost.
Oh, really, Boros? All you did in high school was call me Fink Tattletale and all the kids you hated, you little teacher's pet brown hound.
Give the lobotomite the emitter. Does it have an audio effect frequency loaded?
Oh, I don't think so. Wait.
What is he doing?
I think he's sonjaculating into the gun, getting it warmed up. Ding. Turkey's done.
You give it to the lobotomite. I'm not touching that thing.
Oh, I don't think so.
I'll do it if you two are going to be ashamed of your own technological needs. Let me give a little sonic sterilization first. Ooh. All right. All antibacterial fresh. Here, my little teddy bear. I have thoroughly removed all Robco termlink code spew from the device. It is clean, shiny, and ready for your hands.
Okay. Energy cells have a high expenditure rate. Some extra reserve cells could offset that.
Yes, I believe Watt's Electronics tended to make the battery shelf life on the low end.
They certainly did. Batteries for my vivisectors would always come up short right before climax.
I think Watts manufactured holodiscs. Or was it holotapes? Never can keep those two straight. Anyway, we're out of small energy cells. Dala? You have some? Why do we... Actually, never mind. I don't even want to know. And no, I don't want to handle your batteries. Just pass them on to the lobotomite yourself.
The sonic gun looks like an energy projectile. Got anything that spits lead?
What did it say? Spit lead? What, like pencils?
Oh, I think it wants a combustion pistol.
A gun? Are you mad? We can't give it a gun. Guns kill. Leave big open holes in you that are like sores, but worse.
Dr. 8 is correct. We already have given the teddy bear a lethal sonic death ray, filled with his sonic ejaculate and sterilized by my soft oohing. Giving the teddy bear a gun would be the equivalent of following a glass of hemlock with an Abraxo chaser. Delicious and redundantly deadly.
If you're going to bring the Socratic method into it, fine. Give the Loboto bear a combustion gun. Burroughs, don't you have something like that?
Are you mad? We can't give it a gun. Guns... Wait, I said that already. Yes, I have the Cyberdog gun, with the little floppy metal ears and the curious nose sensor. Here.
Fine. Done. That gun makes me uncomfortable anyway. Always worried it's going to hump my chassis. Anything else, lobotomite?
This gun looks pretty hungry. I'd like to make sure it gets fed lots of bullets.
Fine. Boros, more ammo. The good stuff.
Top shelf ammunition. Let's see. Hollow point? That's worthless, but tasty. Oh, and here's some JFP. As if bullets need jackets. The JFP might make it ill and poop a lot, but when you're hungry, you're hungry.
Nice. This should be enough.
Careful where you're pointing that. That device wasn't always a weapon. It was more like a force field kind of thing. Once.
Force fields prevent us from moving forward or backward.
They are irritating.
The sonic emitter was specially designed to disable our own safety fields here in Big Mountain. When some of us lost our access passes, Dr. O.
That only happened once. And I know you were behind stealth fielding my lab keys, Dala. You formographer.
Dr. O, you rewind that comment.
Plenty of rewinding already going on in your formography tapes. Surprised the things don't snap out of their cases with repeated observations.
Wait, so this gun you gave me can disable force fields?
Yes. Maybe. Well, no, not currently.
Yeah, we lost that part of the schematics. Or Boros did. In one of his stupid labs. Or inside one of his stupid pets.
It is lost. All questions lead to this conclusion. The blue fields within Big Mountain shall be fielded with force. Forever.
Great. I don't want to hear anything more about that.
Fine, so, yes. Get these things for us. Do not attempt to comprehend their complicated schematics. That is for us to do.
I'll head out then, and I'll be back with these, things.
Well, good. What are the token words spoken in this case? Thank you? Yes. Thank you.
Wait, is it leaving? But, Dr. Klein, the lobotomite will need rest, recuperation, things like that. I volunteer my chambers, so it might be stared at. My monitor radar slowly scanning its form to collect sensitive data.
No, that would put it too close to us. It could press buttons, turn lights on and off, and worse, let other lobotomites in.
We could give it Mobius's old room. That's where its brain got scooped out anyway. And plus, some of its parts are already there.
Scooped up.
Might be more comforting for it to hang out with its spine and heart. Home is where the heart is, after all. See what I did there? Wet literal.
I suppose. We'll have to move that couch out of there. Been putting that off too long.
H says, let the lobotomite take the Sync Central Intelligence personality chip and reinstall it. That stuffy Mobius program butler can walk the lobotomite, feed it, barter with it for us.
It would also prevent it from going to Higgs Village and taking up residence there. With my teddy bears. And it would be nice to have it so close.
Your logic, combined with my desire to keep the think tank lobotomite free, has swayed me. Here, I present the Sync Central Intelligence. Lobotomite, take this chip to the sink, plug it in, and make sure the chip is clean, or it could skip. Then make whatever crude biologic demands you need of the sink. It will cater to most of your hormonal whims.
I could trade with the sync intelligence. Then I'll need something to activate that function, won't I?
I cannot dispute your logic. Do we have objects to activate the chip's exchange routines?
What, like stuff? Things?
Yes, things.
I don't know. Might be some old Nuka-Cola or Sunset Sarsaparilla bottle caps lying around. It's not currency per se. Still might be enough to trick the Sync's trade routines. Mobius put that test line for caps in the code as a debug command, I think.
I don't believe that was Mobius's reason. His wild speculation concerning post-Holocaust economic systems was quite extensive and of high decibel.
Enough! Surrender these so-called bottle caps, Nuka and Sunset alike. In their role as things, they will serve as adequate test subjects.
All right, here, cap away. Hope that stupid chip chokes on them.
This amount clearly represents a deficiency in the amount of caps needed.
Again, your logic is unassailable in its simplistic need. Oh?
Fine. It's not going to help.
Fine.
That chip will probably refuse them anyway, as stuck up as it is.
I hate to come back and ask for more. A little extra would guarantee you're not disturbed.
If I were not as intelligent as I am, I would feel as if perhaps I'm being tricked. Impossible. Oh, more.
Why don't you make the lobotomite a bottle cap factory, Klein? Or better yet, give it a ton of things to activate the chip.
Hold on, let's be logical about this. I don't need a ton, just as much as I can carry and trade.
Again, the logic of the request is
Order
clear.
90.
Tonnage is not needed, only adequate weight. Everyone, display your things.
I do not understand, yet I am intrigued by this potential display.
No, Age, you don't need to fill up the emitter again, really. Klein means things for trade. Display for trade.
Trade.
All right, let's consolidate. There's got to be some junk around here. Magazines, useless. More caps, medicinal supplies, useless. Here.
Fixing things. This ship looks like it's been mass-produced. Are there other ships?
Are there other chips?
Are you echoing what he said, or are you asking for real?
He's asking, yes. Dr. Klein, there are many other personalities. If you recall, you hurled them off the sink balcony after your argument with Mobius.
It is not an argument if one is clearly right and the other is clearly wrong. I remember now. Yes, Lobotomite. There are other chips. If you want, find them. I believe they're stored on holotapes in many of our facilities. But you should stay out of those. No exploring and discovering things. The Sync Central intelligence should be enough for your needs.
So I just... Sorry. So just plug it into the circular map thing in the sink upstairs?
Yes, you may need to wiggle it in a bit, but don't force it. We can't recode them if you break it. There is no more we can do to aid you, and our patience levels are depleted. Now go. Rest in the sink if you must, but leave us to our research.
If you're done, can we move again? My biogel's starting to crampagulate.
Of course. Go land your science stations. Go! I am surrounded by children.
Phew, that was a long conversation. Oh, 'cause I can't shoot in there. That makes sense. Oh, this is that sonic gun. So it activates.
You will not escape the eyes of my robo-scorpions or their pincers.
This is cool. Is that grass? That's grass. Oh, the music too. Oh. Night Stalker, but they're not invisible. This is the... Oh, that's that gun. It's a dog brain. What? Okay. And that's this one. Gauss rifle. Okay. I'm guessing it's this facility up here. Oh.
What terrors does Big Mountain hold for the intrepid seeker? Really? Does anyone know? I'm at a loss.
This is really sick. Take it up there. Yeah, this whole facility is just built in one giant crater. Oh. Oh, I see. Take X2 antenna.
Trying to steal the X2 transmitter array antenna, are you? You won't succeed. Not if my little robo-scorpions have any say in the matter.
Pull up again. It's actually crazy. I have 6 more levels till I max out my leveling. Meltdown. Perfect.
Fighting over.
Wow. Those red crystals. Wow. That's a negative 300. Right. So when fast travel. Enemies nearby. Oh my gosh.
Bad guys dealt with.
Okay. Think. Cool. A cool aesthetic. Sync. So we install them.
Oh, God, look at you. You're filthy. I suppose you'll want to clean up then?
You seem kind of worried about the dirt. What's wrong?
Oh, it's just so unsanitary. Do
Sanitary.
you know how many germs are in 1 cubic centimeter of dirt? 70, 100, gajillion. Would you want that getting washed down your gullet day in and day out? I didn't think so.
I'll just take a drink, thanks.
You can have as much as you like. Just, please don't put your lips on the faucet. It's so unsanitary.
Sanitary.
Well, how about that? Old auto doc's back online. Well, alright, come here, let's have a look at you. Well, you ain't the fittest horse that ever ran a race, but you don't appear in immediate danger of keeling over. I can patch you up if you want.
Sure.
Concerned about the state of your mind, are you? Well, such things ain't my specialty, but I'm happy to tender my opinion as to your mental health. I should make you aware that the benefits of such a procedure are exclusive. That is, that this only works once. Now, are you sure this is what you want?
Alright, let's go.
Alright, just try to relax. This won't hurt, unless your sense of self is especially vulnerable.
Oh, no thanks. No, I'm good. I don't want to do that. I don't know that's what that would do.
That's scalpel. Fish scalpel. I am online once again! Tremble, world, before my electric heating coil of doom!
Trimble, you're a toaster. How fearsome can you be?
A toaster is just a death ray with a smaller power supply. As soon as I figure out how to tap into the main reactors, I will burn the world!
Well, I for one am quaking in my boots.
Buddy, if my heating element were just a little bigger, you would be on fire right now! On fire!
Okay.
Well, since I can't kill you, I guess I have to listen to your inane questions.
Okay.
Yes! Flee before my terrible power!
Muggy.
You! Hey, you! Yeah, you!
It's a mug.
Got any mugs?
So I don't have any.
Of course you don't. Why would you? You're not an insane robot obsessed with coffee cups. To you, they're just worthless junk.
Okay, gotta go.
Sure. Nobody wants to hang out with Muggy. I get it. So long, pal.
Hi again, sweetie.
Do you like me?
My stealth suit?
Have you done all we asked? If not, we will not hesitate to ask again. Did you retrieve the technologies yet? We need them, as I have indicated.
I'd be honored if I could hear any knowledge the think tank had to share on the sciences.
Why, yes. We are filled with the knowledge you speak of. If you wish to know more, simply ask the others. They can help you.
I've recovered all the technological information.
What? You did? Your survival, let alone success, barely registered in my projections. Now, all I need to do is check my transmission databank. Mobius is always filling it up with his psychotic calls. Oh yes, there's the schematics, just like you said. How truthful.
Alright. Glad you received the schematics.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yes, what?
No. I mean, yes. You just need to analyze these technologies for a moment. They are extremely advanced, you know?
Do you even know what these technologies do?
I know how these technologies work. Of course I know. If you remember, we described them in clearly abstract, contradictory statements before. Why would we do that if we weren't certain on how to use them? Yes, so let me... a bit, huh? I'll figure it out.
Look, the antenna focuses brainwave patterns, right?
Yes, that's what I believe I said.
And the suit's a cardiac regulator, and the sonic frequency is a spinal vibrator.
I've got it. The cardiac regulator in the suit, the antenna for brain waves, and the sonic frequency for the vertebral nerves.
Yes.
I'm thinking. This is all very complicated. Let me check something. Of course. I have it. The override sequence to open the Forbidden Zone door is hidden in the schematics. Well, not hidden. It's actually right there, behind the programming equivalent of coffee stains. It's embedded in what seems to be recursive code. It's badly commented there and there. Oh, and null pointers very sloppy, Mobius. You see, using the antenna to boost the emitter's sonic frequency, and the stealth suit to bypass the Forbidden Zone lock, yes, that could work. Was that my plan? It must have been. Sometimes I truly surprise myself. The door is open, and now Mobius will get his.
Don't these items seem more biologically focused than that, though?
Biological? Ridiculous. I mean, technically, these items could all be used to put you back together once you had your brain. But for now, they can be used in the name of aggression. The door should be unsealed. Now, instead of being subjected to threats, we can now send an equally threatening message to Mobius. And that message is science. Deliver this message, and Big Mountain shall be freed from Mobius's reign of terror. You can go now. That's your cue.
Okay.
Sneaking done. Fighting now. Was that all?
Rubber scorpions.
Prepare
Time to fight.
Tail rocking on.
That's all.
Well, good job, Edie. Wow. Goodness. Now that's a big door. Oh.
This one looks pretty tough.
Whoa. Ouch. Oh wow. This gun's. Oh god. No way.
Cessation of hostilities complete.
Highly upgraded weapon we have right here. We're max level. We gotta choose carefully here. We'll round everything off if we can, for the most part. Alright. It's our last perk. Oh, Super Laser Commander. Damn, we hit max level. That makes sense. I have one more DLC to go. Leor. Oh, we'll take it. Let's see, okay. We got that one. That's for one of the side quests. Okay. That's everything. Where is this Mr. Mobius? Oh, he's up there. Okay. Oh, this is like an alternate one. Who's that? Dr. Mobius? Who's this then?
They said I was
Brain tank.
mad. Preposterous. Not an angry bone in my body. Had them all removed. Hmm? Oh, hello there. You are there, aren't you? Forgive my confusion. So hard to tell these days. You seem familiar somehow.
Dr.
I'm
Mobius.
guessing you're here for your brain, perhaps? It's just up there. Such a nice brain, young, very bright. Little hard to see you. Can you walk into my left, right FOV coon? Ah, that's it. You're coming into focus nicely.
Surrender, Mobius. I don't want to fight you.
Oh, well, that's good. Were we supposed to fight? I certainly don't feel violent, but, well, these contraptions make it hard to tell.
You aren't exactly what I was expecting.
Really? That implies preconceived notions, theories, and a hypothesis about this meeting? Please extrapolate. What was I supposed to be like? After all, it might be worth a cognitive realignment if your theoretical Mobius is better than I.
I need my brain back.
Do you? You seem fine without it. And does it even want to go back with you? Maybe you should ask it. It's quite independent, has all manner of opinions. Tell you what, I'll leave it up to your brain. If it wants to go, then fine. If not, well, you should respect its wishes.
I was curious about some things.
Oh, curiosity. I experience that less now that I know everything. Oh, maybe it was when I found out some unpleasant answers.
Why'd you steal my brain?
Oh, a variety of raisins. You're something of a homily. Anomaly? You're really quite special, and not in the cranially challenged way. You see, you are the most successful brain extraction experiment ever performed here at Big Mountain. A victim of your own success, as it were. If you were to go back with what your brain knows about the procedure, well, your brain could be popped back in and you could walk right out of here. Can't have brains moving around of their own volition.
Enough. I'm here to kill you.
Oh, intriguing. I've never been killed before. Although, after that time I got that phlegmy discharge in my biogel, I wished I had been. Well, if there's going to be killing, I defer to your expertise in this matter. How should we begin? Engineering viruses, canceratic beams, atomics, electrocutioning? Or should I summon my minions? Yes, my minions.
I'll trash them like I did your giant piece of junk downstairs.
Oh, now you've done it. I feel a twinge of regret over that little mistake I left on. Minions, destroy this intruder! Or perhaps make it more dramatic. Minions, to me! Oh yes, that's quite a bit better.
Quiet.
Time to fight.
Right in the brain.
Desire? So that's what being killed feels like.
You took my brain without my consent. You shall die.
That's all.
Well, look who finally dragged themselves in out of the wasteland. And where have we been? Crawling through pits of radioactive muck again?
Are you my brain?
Ah, lovely. Figured that out, have we? Would you like a cookie?
There's no need to be sarcastic. Meeting your own brain is a slightly odd event.
Yes, well, believe me, the opposite is equally true. Good lord, have you bathed at all since they pulled me out of you?
Yes, because running around a crater full of bizarre science experiments, hygiene is a top priority.
Well, I see sarcasm hasn't eluded you. Fine, perhaps now isn't the best time, but it's the principle of the thing.
Listen, you're my brain, so you better be more respectful.
Oh, had I? What exactly will you do if I don't? Not put me back in that cranial dungeon you call your head? Heavens forbid.
Once you're back in my head, I'll watch television. Lots and lots of television.
You wouldn't. That's inhuman.
I would. I'd follow it up with an alcohol and ants nectar cocktail every night.
You're a monster. A deranged, self-destructive monster.
Don't you want to be reunited? I thought you'd be happy to get back into my head.
I'm not going to lie to you. The prospect is definitely not that appealing. Look at it from my perspective. Here I have peace, quiet, and safety. Well, barring the odd rogue scorpion. In your head, I've got poison, radiation, grisly injuries, and biological functions. Do you know how much more you can get done when you're not constantly looking for places to urinate? It's quite a lot, I can tell you.
But what about the good things? What about the cool breeze in your cheek, the smell of food? Love.
Overrated biological feedback. Believe me, you only feel that way because you've got all that meat. Oozing hormones.
Isn't it just as true that you only feel this way because you're lacking those hormones?
I suppose you're right. That does call certain assumptions into question, doesn't it?
So we're at impasse. You can't feel what I feel, and I can't think the way you think.
Indeed. Quite the conundrum. How do you suppose we resolve it?
I think we should have to trust each other and acknowledge that we aren't complete. I think we should have to trust each other and acknowledge that we aren't complete if we are separated.
I suppose there might be some advantage to that, yes. There's a chance that the reintegration would create some improved synergy between us.
So, what do you say, Brain? Join me for some more wild adventures?
Well, I suppose you've convinced me well enough. I'll rejoin your body if that's your final decision. Unfortunately, before we get to that stage of the proceedings, we have a problem. Even if I could settle myself back in your skull and reconnect all those pesky nerve endings, Dr. Mobius doesn't have the tools here. We would have to make use of Dr. Klein's lab, and I rather doubt the brains are inclined to share.
Why? They promised to put us back together once I did what they wanted.
And you believe them? Really? I know you were recently deprived of my fabulous advice, but... Really? Once I'm delivered into their clutches, they'll find a way past the radar fence and the whole Mojave will be their playground.
Oh shit.
And that is assuming, of course, that one of them doesn't take a fancy to our body and decide to slip his own brain into it instead.
Oh goodness. You're part of me. I know you don't want to let that happen any more than I do.
Well, I suppose I do miss those endorphin rushes when we save the day. All right, what's the plan?
If the think tank won't hold up their bargain, we'll make them. If the think tank won't hold up their bargain, we'll make them. Let's go.
Right. Look out, think tank. This brain is coming out of its jar. I suppose now that we're reunited, you'll want to fill your torso up with those other meaty parts the think tank took from us. Personally, I think your upgrades are quite a bit better. But now that I'm with you, the sync's autodock can plug them back in no problem. Right then, off we go. Klein will be in for a nasty shock when he realizes the pacification field won't work on a mind and body reunited.
Oh. My brain has been added. Your brain. I can hotkey it. I can drop it. Oh my gosh. That's funny. Alright. Alright. Here we go.
You require some additional services?
I'd like to sorry. I'd like to engage your services.
And rightly so, I should think. Alright then, let me just fire up the old interface for you.
Body parts? Oh, here we go. Place your heart back into your chest.
Man's got a severe case.
Reattach my spine. Oh, everything's red now. Hello there.
The lobotomite returns. Our lobotomite. Has Dr. Mobius been denominated into scrap metal and voice module parts, as we hoped?
I found my brain. Now you and I are gonna settle things.
I recommend watching your tone with me, lobotomite. Now, your brain. Hand it over, or we'll extract it again.
I'm not handing my brain over. There's some things we should discuss.
And what could we possibly have to speak about? You have the brain, we have the technology. All you must do is surrender. With it, we can finally leave this place. I cannot tell you how boring this place gets, chopping up the landscape and everything in it. And we have so many questions to ask your brain first. About this Mojave place. A fertile testing ground for our experiments.
No way. You think I'm the lobotomite? No. For my skull houses the brain of Mobius.
That is the most insane thing I've ever heard. There's no way Mobius would condescend to step inside you. Besides, there's no way such a thing could be accomplished. It's impossible.
Science 100? Nothing is unimpossible for science! Medicines, lasers, atoms, brainwaves, all are at my command.
You speak the truth. And the decibel variation in your voice, it is Mobius. How dare you breach the think tank? And what do you want here?
Here, I offer a deal. Stay here, stay put, and heal. I'll let you live.
That's no deal at all. There's a whole world beyond the crater, filled with ideas and possibilities. We could have escaped, seen it all for ourselves, tested it, prodded at it, made it squirm.
I will permit you to do this for me.
Partner with you? My foe? My rival? My foremost critic? I have a strange sensation that I would like that. How odd. Very well, partner. The think tank is at your service as long as you do not destroy us.
As it had been in the years before the Great War, Big Mountain, the Big Empty, became home to one of the brightest minds of the 23rd century. The courier watched over the Big Empty for years to come, caring for it and keeping its discoveries safe until they were needed to help others. Which had always been Big Mountain's purpose. Past the laboratories and science, it had always been intended as a place to build the future of all mankind.
The courier had scoured much of the Big Empty, although secrets still remained in the crater's depths. Perhaps that was for the best, however. Curiosity, while sometimes rewarded for its efforts, often proves to be equally dangerous.
The Forbidden Zone continued to be, true to its name, forbidden. No more robo-scorpions were sighted in its canyons. Big Mountain became even emptier, devoid of Dr. Mobius's proclamations forecasting the destruction of anything that dared possess sentience. Still, it is said he lived on in the equations inscribed on the floor and walls of the Forbidden Zone dome. A cobweb tracery of symbols that told of 1,000 brilliant thoughts, now lost to time.
The sink atop the dome bustled with the voices of a small town, constantly chirping, arguing, and snarling at each other. Still, this all happened productively in the interests of its new owner. The Sync Central Intelligence Unit discovered, despite its inversion code, it was comforted by the sense of community the other personalities gave it.
The biological research station, obsessed with seeding everything in sight, requested a transfer to the X-22 Botanical Garden, so that it might, in its own words, sensually fertilize the garden's smooth contours. The garden sent back a polite refusal, saying it had prior commitments with a vault it had helped infect before the war.
The book chute continued to devour all seditious materials until it nearly choked on a paperclip. It adamantly maintained it was a Chinese paperclip, and the whole thing had been an elaborately orchestrated assassination attempt. Whatever the reason, it slowed down for a while, carefully appraising each document and clipboard that came to it.
The light switches continued to bicker and flicker.
This persisted until the day someone dropped a flashlight in the sink, and the two of them united in their hatred of the showboat. One of them eventually transferred to the Lightwave Dynamics plant, and began a long, unrequited affair with one of the holograms.
The sink continued to ruthlessly scrub any particulate matter that came near it. Eventually, it gained access to the magneto-hydraulics plant and nearly flooded all the Big Empty in an attempt to scrub the crater clean.
The toaster continued its psychotic spree, reducing all appliances in range to scrap electronics and spare parts. After one of its more psychotic episodes, however, the other Sync personalities decided enough was enough and dumped the toaster in a bathtub. Sparking and hissing, the toaster swore its enemies would rue the day when they had bread and no way to toast it.
Muggy did his best to collect coffee cups, although in his quest, he accidentally trapped himself in Higgs Village. It might have been the end for poor Muggy. Except, he found it peaceful there, tidying up the kitchens of the think tank professors back when they had been flesh and bone. Well, except for Dr. O, who was an asshole for having created Muggy in the first place. Muggy left O's house deliberately dirty, punishing the dishes and cups that lived there in blind revenge for serving Dr. O.
Blind old Jefferson, with sounds the courier brought him, created a symphonic counter-frequency that saved Big Mountain from sonic invasion in 2910. If you didn't hear about it, good. It was rumored by the other personalities that he had a brief fling with the light switches. Although he forgot their names much too often and was soon left in the dark as punishment.
Autodoc, always gentle and methodical, kept sewing up the courier in all the right places when the skin split open from repeated wear and tear. The Autodoc was just glad to have purpose again. It heard its simpler brothers and sisters who got shipped to the Sierra Madre bored out of their skulls in that toxic dead city. In time, the Autodoc found a way to deactivate the Y-17 trauma harnesses, releasing the corpses they had held prisoner for almost 200 years.
As the courier ran through the X-8 facility multiple times, the computers analyzed the test subject's movements. Rather than performing a superficial observation, they realized the subject barely knew what communism was, or even what a high school was. This confused them for a time, until the facility finally realized that its research had succeeded. So it let its cyber dogs out into the wastes to help protect small communities from physical aggression rather than communist propaganda.
The infiltration program in X-13 felt spent, having repeatedly upgraded the stealth suit until it could upgrade it no more. It felt warm, fulfilled, and a bit sluggish. It realized not long after, the stealth suit had left it without so much as a note on the nightstand. So the infiltration program sent out robo-brains into the wastes, looking for its wayward technology. It eventually found Repcon HQ and set up a new research center, testing and murdering fiends who kept breaking into the facility.
The courier, organs intact, continued onwards, a little less heavy of step, but with all the organs in the right places, as they should be. After all, brains can develop a life of their own when left to their own thoughts, and the courier's brain was more clever than most.
Dr. Klein and the think tank remained alive, unaware of the world outside. They looped through their daily routine, none the wiser about the world beyond, although perhaps wiser was the wrong word. The world outside belonged to the courier, and if anyone would shape it, well, the courier had already called dibs.
There is an expression in the wasteland, old world blues.
It refers to those so obsessed with the past they can't see the present, much less the future, for what it is.
They stare into the what was, eyes like pilot lights, guttering and spent, as the realities of their world continue on around them.
Science is a long, steady progression into the future. What may seem a sudden event often isn't felt for years, even centuries to come.
In the times following the Second Battle of Hoover Dam, however, old world blues took on a new meaning.
Where once it was viewed as a form of sadness, nostalgia, it became an expression describing the potential for the future.
It can be easy to see science as evil, technology unchecked as the source of all ills, all misfortunes.
With the courier at the helm, science became a beacon for the future. There was old world blues, and new world hope. And hope ruled the day at Big Mountain.
We could say more, but the stories in the Big Empty speak for themselves. Now armed with the transportal Ponder, the courier could return to the dome at any time and crack open the secrets of the Big Empty one by one. The sink sat vigilant, waiting for its master to return, shoes covered in Mojave dust. Only one road yet remained, and it was one the courier had to walk alone.
Lonesome road. Big brain perk. Your brain is back in your body, but some of the advanced technology remain. Your head still cannot be crippled. You know, okay, awesome. All right. We've acquired Big Mountain Transpondler, which means we can keep going back and forth. This is like our home base. All right, I think it's time for us to get up and out of here. Let's go and travel back to the Mojave. Big Mountain, you were cool. Very different. So I do? Okay. Oh, I'm in an interior. Oh! And just like that. We're back! Oh my gosh. Well, alright guys, we completed Old World Blues. This DLC was interesting. It was very different. It was very science fiction focused. It was unique. I loved it. Trekking around the little map, like inside Big Empty, pretty darn cool. I'm glad we did that, but we have one more left. We have Lonesome Road. We're gonna go to the Divide. So when you guys leave it off here, I'll see y'all on the next episode of Fallout New Vegas.